down the hall from non-stop hip-hop. And speaking of hip-hop, we're joined in studio right now by Memphis' own Teflon Don. What's going on, Tef?
Oh, you know, man, just staying ahead of the game. You know how it is.
I do, but here's the big story this week. This big story a couple weeks. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, you went in and filed a lawsuit against Rick Ross for his use of the Teflon Don.
Right.
In the rap industry. And then just this week, the University of Memphis announces Rick Ross will be performing at your annual Memphis Madness event, which has become a huge event for local hip-hop artists and just Yo Gotti. Not local, but big time. It's a concert/basketball event. It's the place to be every year. And now Rick Ross is coming in to do this. So it's very interesting that all of a sudden all this is happening, and it's probably by coincidence. But if you can explain real quick, what is, I know you can't talk much about it, but what is your lawsuit with?
I really can't speak on it. Everything out in the media it's basically out there in the media right now, where they can just Google Teflon Don and Rick Ross, and basically it'll pull up, and they can see everything that we're going to court for. But besides that, though, you know, we just pushing forward.
But basically, it is, you have been using the Teflon Don name for how long?
For over 10 years.
For over 10 years. And you got the nickname how?
From the military. I was a cook in the military originally, and you know, I was a rapper. You know, rap, we used to do everything. You know, that's where I got my name from. So I actually, you know, had no knowledge of John Gotti at the time, like what everybody thinks. You know.
Well, you're thinking about it. How did you come? So the nickname, somebody just gave it to you?
No, my name was Don. My name is Don.
Your name is Don, yeah.
You know, and we just used the cooking part of the game. You know, because that's what I was at the time. And Teflon, the word Teflon was before John Gotti. You know what I'm saying? So everybody tries to relate these things to John Gotti and all those things, but it's not where I got my nickname. And so, you know. But besides that, though, you know, I'm really not going to speak on it. I'm just trying to move forward with my career and keep pushing.
All right, so you're continue to move on with your career while at the same time pursuing this lawsuit.
Oh yeah, you know, you can't stay stuck on one thing. You gotta keep moving forward. The life keeps going.
But what do you say to the people who think that the Gotti family should be able to sue you and Rick Ross for using that?
Well, you know, they
should be able to sue Yo Gotti as well.
They may have. They may. I mean, if they have, you know, we just have to see.
Are you aware of Rick Ross's other lawsuit that's out there, where he apparently his name is coming from a notorious drug dealer? His Rick Ross name in general. He's been sued before.
No knowledge of. I mean, I'm not just up on Rick Ross like that. I'm not hating on Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a great rapper. I love everything he's doing. You know, he's a great entertainer. I even think that the Tigers bringing him down here was a great business move. You know, it's nothing personal. I think it was just more of a business move to pack their house out and to make people feel welcome. With a major artist that's getting a lot of media press and a lot of video. You know, he got the labels behind him, and you know, I mean, you know, you got to give props where props is due. Now, if it was personal, you know, personally to me, we have talent in Memphis, but you got to think also who's going to pack the house, who's going to pack that FedEx form, and so they're thinking business-wise. So I can't get mad at the Tigers or any media source that puts out these things, because I think it's about business at the end of the day, and they trying to feed their families, and I'm trying to feed my family.
All right, 360-8255 if you have a question for Teflon Don. You can also tweet it if you have a question or comment to us at twitter.com/MemphiSport. We will pass along your question or comment to Tef. That's 360-8255 if you want to call in, or on Twitter /MemphiSport. Of course, you can. Tef is in studio, so you can catch him on the webcam at sports56WHBQ.com. He is joining us in the studio today. Okay, so you don't think this is the Tigers being upset at you for having such a successful Grizzly song and not writing a Tiger song?
No, it's never personal. It's always business. These are corporate companies, and corporate thinks business.
Well, the University of Memphis doesn't always think this.
Well, I'm just saying with the structure of a corporate company would be.
Who would you have perform at Memphis Madness?
I would think just like them. I would have.
Is that your lawyer calling you saying stop talking?
I would have a major artist just like they did, but I would have a local opening up. Somebody from Memphis to welcome them. To me, if I was a promoter, that's what I would do because I'm coming from a musician's point of view. All the artists in the city are not going to be happy about a major artist coming in and nobody's opening up for them. So I'm speaking from the artist's point of view.
You're saying somebody local.
Just to open up for them. Just to maybe.
To have an open up act. So have an opening act before.
Right. Somebody to welcome them. Somebody to welcome them with some Memphis flavor.
I like this opening act idea.
Yeah. If the Tigers came to you and wanted you to be the opening act, would you be cool with that, knowing that you were going to be sharing the stage with Rick Ross?
Everybody make it sound like it's beef. It's not beef. I promise you, it's not beef. I would love to do it. I represent Memphis to the fullest. I've been doing it for the longest, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep pushing.
Now, last year or the beginning of the NBA playoffs, the Memphis Grizzlies had you doing some stuff. Just talk about that and how that benefited the city locally with music and artists and everything like that.
I think it made an impact on a lot of artists. They saw other avenues besides trying to submit their CDs to the radio station and getting denied all the time. And they saw another outlet to get their music out. And so that's why you have so many artists now trying to do NBA songs and football songs and things like that. Because they see they starting to see the markets that I was trying to open up. At least I'm opening it up for other people to succeed. Okay.
So people in this lawsuit, one thing that they would bring up, if you haven't heard about the lawsuit, there is some stories that Channel 3 has done on it that we'll post on our Twitter page as well, twitter.com/MemphiSport. But why not change your name? P. Diddy changes his name every few months. I don't even think P. Diddy is his name anymore. But why not just change your name, come up with something new, something very Memphis, and
Well, see, I think you have to put yourself in my shoes. If you put all the work in that I put in, you wouldn't just change your name and just start all the way over. I put in a lot of work. From the military going to war. My name was Teflon Don when I went to war. And for me to come back and I kept that name, that's a name that just sticks with you. That's a nickname that is always with you. And if I changed that, it would be like just erasing all my history that I've done, even for the city.
But I mean, it seems Rick Ross has no problem changing his name occasionally.
Man, I can't.
Why can't you change your name to Rick Ross?
I can't speak. I can't speak on Rick Ross. Only thing I could speak on is myself.
It's sort of like Tina Turner when she divorced Ike. She wanted to keep her name. You build up that name, and that's what people know you.
Right. I've done a lot of work. I'm talking about for the community. I've done so much stuff I can't even speak on. I mean, you could just Google me and see everything I've done. Go to TeflonDonMusic.com and see it.
Okay. Well, Teflon Don is in studio right now. Bringing him in. It's very, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interesting do you think it is, Teflon, that the one artist that they are bringing in is the guy that you are suing?
I think it's one of the best moves they made because this guy's getting a lot of media. He's getting a lot of he has a lot of press about him, in the media. So his name is continuously ringing. And so when you get someone like that, you can't do nothing but win. He has fans all around the world.
Do you think that Rick Ross looks like an overweight Corey Macklin?
I can't speak on that. I mean,
is that in the lawsuit?
No, I'm not. That's not my. That's not my character.
Do you think Corey Macklin, local former wrestling host now on the news, do you think he has a lawsuit, like a legitimate lawsuit, that he could sue Rick Ross for looking like him?
I can't. I don't know nothing about him. I can't speak on that either. I mean,
do you think? Okay,
you got to talk to a lawyer about that.
Okay, well let's try to break down that. Why is Rick Ross coming here? And when Memphis asked him to be here, but do you think the only reason he is coming here to do this show is because at Memphis Madness is because he's opening up those wing stores? Do you think that he's coming so he can promote the wings?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how the Knicks man thinks, you know.
Like if you think if we say P. Diddy or somebody, man, P. Diddy would be a cool Memphis Madness performance.
No, he wouldn't. He would be absolutely horrible. I'm sorry, I'm not a P. Diddy fan. What? All he does is take that. Yeah. I mean, he's in the background of everything.
Who would you like to line up? You like Kanye? Kanye's too big for Memphis.
No, but no. If Eminem came, you know.
Eminem. Yeah,
Eminem came. I'll be on board. Yeah.
Jay-Z, of course, is also one that was the fake rumor earlier in the week. Everybody
Jay-Z.
Saying, oh, Jay-Z, when they put out the leak.
Only Jay-Z is bringing Beyonce with him. He's not bringing Beyonce.
Without Beyonce.
You gotta bring Beyonce or Rihanna. He gotta bring somebody.
We're taking your questions. We are taking on Twitter your comments or tweeting back and forth right now with Greg Jackson. There is a story out there that's going on with Teflon Don, and he is in current just very recent. This is a very recent lawsuit that was filed by Teflon Don just days before this announcement was made. Very, very interesting, and we do think it's just a coincidence, right? Is that what we're saying, Tef?
Yeah, it's just a coincidence. I mean, you know, most times those are booked ahead of time.
Right.
Things like that are usually booked ahead of time. You know?
So
I'm sure he had a schedule of him doing shows. You know, a lot of major artists have a list of bookings and schedules. So it's hard to get those people to commit.
So this is something that had been in the works for a while.
It probably has. You know, I'm not saying that that's true. I truly don't know, but I know about working with Soulja Boy and Man the Mike and them in the past.
Soulja Boy would be do the kids like Soulja Boy still?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Dance. That's all I know.
Okay.
That's the only Soulja Boy jam that I know.
Okay,
Soulja Boy.
Okay. Good question.
That's been
right
4
now.
years.
You were in the military.
Yes, sir.
And you know Soulja Boy.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the rap that he did where he dissed the soldiers in the FBI?
I think music is sometimes how you feel at the time you write it. So it's more so like a diary that made it out there where people just took it and ran with it. I mean, I understand.
Were you offended? Because I mean he basically said
what I look at is people. You know, he's never been a military soldier, so he doesn't know.
But he called himself Soulja Boy.
Yeah, it's spelled differently, and you know, I'm just speaking from what I know. I just feel like he doesn't actually know the work that soldiers have to do to put in to actually, you know, go to war and things like that. You know, I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that, but I'm just saying seriously, some people don't know the work ethic that the soldiers go through to prepare for war and to go to war, and the stress that they have after war, and the you know, the medical conditions that they be in after war. So, you know, he apologized, and I think that's the best thing you can do, and just keep pushing, keep going forward. Don't go backwards.
Okay, we do have a caller who has a question, Teflon, to ask you about this situation. We're going to go to him right now. Jay, you are on MSL. What's up? Good point. Yep, a lot of people using the names. I guess that's what, who makes it famous first and where they make it. That's going to be settled, I guess, in this lawsuit. Right. All right, Jay, thanks for your call. All right. Any comments on that stuff?
Well, you know,
There's only one JT now, unfortunately, Jay. and that would be,
I respect his statement. You know, I respect it. You know.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately for JD's a new rapper because JT now is Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like he's using that. People use that for him. That's what they call him. It's like a nickname.
Yeah.
Right.
But all right, before we let you go, Teflon, do you have any plans to open up any wing shops around town? Do you have any?
No, but what
Are you gonna go to Rick Ross's wing when he opens up?
I support any
not called that.
I support any business that's trying to do some positive in the community.
So only if you but he's doing stuff negative, I think, right? So you're probably not going to support him because he's taking you down. But Rick Ross has opened up those wings shops. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to keep going to Debo's and Don Don's.
I really go to Debo's and Rick Ross's. This is going to be called Rick.
It's a wing stop, I think. It's like it's a
Wingstop.
national brand that he's just opening franchises for, I think. That's to give him free advertising. That's the whole point of him coming to Memphis Madness.
He's going to come in a big wing costume.
He's going to come out in a wing costume.
Out there.
So over
What
under.
you like? Mild, hot, teriyaki chicken? I don't know.
All right, Teflon, thanks so much for joining us in studio on this. Is there anything else? How people can get in touch with you and what's going on?
Well, I have a website which is called TeflonDonMusic.com. They can see everything that I'm doing, and also we're up for 3 awards this year. One with the Knockdown Awards and another one with Memphis Choice Awards. And I'm nominated for Best Song of the Year Independent, and we're nominated for, let me see, I gotta go through there, Impact Artist of the Year, and with the Memphis Choice Award, I'm up for Mentor of the Year. And hey, we got some movie soundtracks on the way. We're still working.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, Steph, for coming in, and good luck with everything.
Appreciate you.
And we'll see what happens with Memphis Madness. We're going to take a break. Ben's coming up with some scores for you. We'll be back in about a minute and 30 seconds or so. You're listening to. We'll wrap things up with Who's and Booze when we come back. I want to talk about who.